which is actually interesting for us because we're not like this big magical branding agency, but we understand the importance of branding. And there's just some thought process behind it. And they kind of give you a clue of what we're going to be talking about today. If you've ever heard of story brand, we're actually going to walk you through some of that process. And then it will make you think real hard about what is the actual experience a patient's getting. And we'll help guide you through all that. But we're super excited to have you on today. We're going to go jump right into it because we try to keep things under an hour for you guys.
Yeah, we definitely want to respect your time.
So let's just go ahead and get moving real quick. So quick introductions. I'm Michael. I've been with the company Patient Care Marketing Pros now 6.5 years. So
Same.
yeah. So it's been here for a while. I'm the operations side, but my background is in the web development world and professional selling and all those fun things. But we love you guys, urgent care wise. Like you guys are fantastic to work with. And we're excited to bring you some more content today.
And I'm Nick. We're both located here in Birmingham, Alabama. Been in the marketing game for 15 plus years at this point, marketing and advertising, and with Patient Care Marketing Pros since its inception with Michael. And Hannah's on the call here today too. We have a legacy agency called Nick the Marketer. That's where I come from there, which is about a year older than Patient Care Marketing Pros.
Yeah.
But all that to be said,
Yeah.
we are fully engulfed, entrenched, and focused on urgent care marketing and making sure that our urgent cares are winning in the marketplace.
Absolutely. And also too, we are the co-host of the podcast Walk-ins Welcome. So if you guys want to be entertained in the urgent care space, every Wednesday we drop an episode, which we'll make some schedule adjustments soon, but we've been doing that for almost 3 years. We're almost to our 200th episode. So go check us out there too.
Absolutely.
All right. So quick housekeeping things here. So if you have questions, send in the chat. Hannah, who's on the call as well, she will be help facilitating some of that. We always save time at the end of the webinar for any Q&As that we can have interactions with. 4 years of podcast, sorry, 4 years.
That's wild.
Which is awesome, which makes sense. And then if you want to be ready to take some notes, but we will always send you guys a replay. So if you fall out of it early for some reason, we can definitely take care of you. And you'll be getting an email from Hannah in the next day or two with this replay, which is always good. And like I said, we shoot for an hour, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit over, but we average about an hour on these things. And we're excited to have you on with us. All right, so a couple of things. We're talking about branding today in the healthcare space. Branding in the healthcare space is not easy.
No, it's not.
It's just not.
And branding in the healthcare space today is a cross on a building or urgent care
or red color, or like a red logo. Yeah, and so there's so much more to that. And that's the thing too. We'll just kind of paint that picture. Branding is more than a logo. We're actually poking fun at some things later as well. As if y'all been watching news at all, there's a particular logo that had the whole country in uproar, which is so funny. But we're going through some of that. But also too, like I mentioned, we're going to do some story branding. So which story branding is where you can kind of identify where your brand is and experience wise, and how you can make some improvements and get away from the failure side of it. And as always, we have links to resources to everything that we talk about because we want to make sure we give you as much value as we possibly can.
Awesome. Well, we always want to start out any good podcast with letting you know our mission is to help you get more patients, deliver better care, and get repeat visits so that you can scale your clinics. And scale often looks like either more locations, it could be more services, it could be adding more doctors. But this is the cycle: more patients, better care, repeat visits, and then scale. And everything that we do on our podcast, everything that we do for our clients, everything that we do on these webinars is to help you do these things.
And I would say this too. So you can see right behind us, repeat visitors. Branding is going to make a huge impact here.
Yep.
Right. And we'll talk through that. But at the end of the day, because it's one thing to get people in your door, it's another thing to get them to come back without having you to go through the whole process again and get them to look at you again.
For sure. For sure. All right. Let's do this, man. We're going to be talking about branding for the vast majority of this podcast and how it's going to relate. And I want to talk about, we kind of have to go back a little bit. In preparation for this webinar, I wanted to make sure that you had a good understanding of how branding even happened. Okay. So what is it? What is branding? Let me tell a quick story. I went and did research. One of the things that I came across was like the original brand. And I pulled this story from Alex Hermosi, which is a business leader. He's on his way to $1 billion acquisition company. And I want to give credit where credit's due. But when I was going and studying what he was talking about in brand, one of the things that he talked about is a brand started in the ranching industry, the ranching culture. So they would have cattle, and in order for you to know whose cattle that was, they would brand it. So like for us, let's just say that we had our walk-ins, like we would brand a Band-Aid onto it, right?
Yeah.
Just for the brand of walk-ins logo. Follow me? Yeah. So,
Nice sizzle.
and based on what you saw that brand, what you saw, you would have some kind of an experience. So let's back way up, right?
That cow had an experience.
That cow had a real experience. That cow had a real experience. But if you really think about it, you're Bob the farmer, and this cow gets loose, and the cow walks by, and you see a brand of that Band-Aid. Now, from that brand of that Band-Aid on that cow, without a brand, you'd be like, this is just a cow. Everybody's got a cow. We're in the farming world in the 1700s. Everybody's got a cow. 1800s, you name it, right? But when somebody put a brand on there, you thought of something. You had a feeling. You had an experience.
Yeah.
And that experience could mean a lot of things, Michael.
Yeah.
It could be like, man, I'm Bob the farmer. James the farmer over here. James is a good dude, man. When I was sick, he showed up and he brought me some soup to my family. He helped me farm. He provided tools when I needed them. I've got a really good experience, and I'm going to make sure that he gets that cow back, or I'm going to buy cows from James, right? Well, it could be the exact opposite of that. This guy is crooked. This guy's a thief. This guy's whatever experience you've had.
This cow stole from me.
with the business,
yeah.
The brand activates it.
Yeah.
The brand activates the thought, right?
100%.
So it is a permanent identifier. A brand is a permanent identifier that says the thoughts about this business is attached to my business. Mm-hmm. It belongs to me. All right. And he went on to connect it to talk about how branding is teaching behavior at scale. So that was a one-to-one interaction between Bob and James, the farmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the cow farmers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But think about other brands out there when they're one brand to millions, Coca-Cola or something like that, right? So what you're doing is you're helping people experience something about your business at scale, and you want it to be consistent and predictable over time. Yep. Right. And one thing that I can tell you that's not in my notes right here is you have a brand whether you think you do or not.
Yeah, I'm about to say you really do. If you think like, well, I don't have a brand, I just have a logo. Like, no.
Nope, you get a brand.
There is a particular thought that people have about your company, and that is your brand.
Yeah, what I often feel is that what you think about your brand is probably what other people think about your brand, because you are exposing to the world your thoughts and interest with regards to your brand.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
No.
It's not always the case.
You may have the rose-colored glass version.
That's right.
And not what's actually happening.
Yeah, I guess the way I should have laid that up is that's what you think your brand is.
Yeah.
But that's not entirely true. So modern application really is just your brand is a marking of your reputation, your tone, the service you provide with consistency.
Yep.
Right. A one-time good experience does not equate to a full brand. No. Right. This is this tone and this reputation and this service and quality over a length of time as what creates the brand.
Arguably, if you have a strong brand, if someone has a bad experience, they'll probably give you a second shot, because the branding can tell them, like, actually, you had a one-off experience. We can take care of that for you.
All right. So, Michael, I've pulled up 4 brands.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to do this in real time.
Okay.
So
here it goes.
What did I just say? It's tone.
Yeah.
It's quality.
Yep.
Over time.
Yep.
Right. Over time, multiplied by time. So Apple.
Quality.
All right. So simplicity.
Yeah.
Innovation and status is kind of what.
Yeah. And I always think of, if you have an Apple product, it's just going to work.
Love it. Yes. And that's mostly true. Recently, that hasn't been always the case, but that's okay. I still am a.
But the brand is like holding you back.
It is. It does definitely has me. I was also going to add ecosystem. All right. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Nike.
Performance. History, right? They've been around forever, I feel like.
I love that.
And they, and in my mind, if you're getting a pair of Nikes, you're going to be pretty happy with them.
So we put empowerment,
yeah,
determination, motivation, grit,
yep,
right? Because that's the way they want you to feel about their brand,
yep.
Right? Here's another one: Disney.
Fun, and then they own children's media.
Well, so best I can tell, they own young married adults. We call them dinks around here. Income, no kids.
Dual income, no kids.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, they're just all about Disney. But wonder, happiness, warmth, nostalgia.
Expensive.
All right, last one. Harley Davidson.
America.
Oh, come on, America.
America.
That's right.
Yeah, America slash
So you said it.
open road freedom. Yeah.
That's right.
Like, because I just imagine a Harley Davidson rider, motorcycle rider on an open interstate type thing,
That's
or
right.
Route 66.
That's right.
With a leather jacket. Like, that's just what I'm, with a bandana.
That's it.
Like, that's where it goes.
So that's it in a nutshell, is really what brand is. But how do you take a brand
Yeah.
and then create demand?
Right.
And I wanted to talk about that as well, because I think it's more than just how people feel about you, is what happens when people are indifferent. Right. So this brings me to the next story. In the 1900s in California, you corrected me last time when I told this story, which was correct. It was California, not Florida.
Yeah.
All right. So there was a company called Sunkist. You probably heard of that. Probably didn't know that they were an orange producer. Right. So they produced orange crops in California.
Yeah, you think of orange juice, but that actually was not who they were.
That's right. So when you think of when you think of oranges back then in the 1900s, it was just a fruit. It was just an orange.
It was food to eat.
And they overproduced. They didn't mean to. It just grew, right?
Yeah.
California sun and all of that, and the climate. They overproduced, and they got a marketing team involved and said, how can we get this sold? We have all of this extra produce, right? And so they came up with
orange juice.
Orange juice. But you said it was something. Drink your orange.
Drink your orange.
Drink your orange. And the logo would be an orange with a straw in it.
Yep.
And I know you know that. If you're listening to this, I know that you've seen that before.
I mean, it's still out there today to a certain degree.
But that one switch in the usage of how an orange is being used, all right, that one little thing changed an entire industry.
Yeah.
There's nowhere you can go for breakfast that they don't serve orange juice, except for maybe a donut shop, but I think they serve milk, but that's another story. But if you really think about it, as an urgent care, there may be no feeling at all toward a brand at all. Right. The brand in urgent care is a cross and the word urgent care. And then somewhere on there, you probably have a logo.
Yep.
Right. So we have to start thinking, especially in the world of AI. I think we have AI fatigue right now in general.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason I wanted to have this conversation today about branding, is because I believe that in the world of AI, two things are going to carry you through. And one of them is going to be, how strong is your brand? How do people feel about it? What is your quality and the service that you're providing over time?
Yep.
Right. How are you making people feel? And then how are we creating a different usage? Right. How are we taking an orange and turning it into orange juice in the urgent care business?
Right.
We're going to have to start thinking that way. I don't have all the answers for that, but we're going to dig in today. Let's keep going.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, branding's more the logo. That's what we were talking about. The emotional side is the biggest piece. At the end of the day, when you're trying to become like that final decision, that emotion pushes you over the edge, because there are things that you yourself have bought and you have no practical reason for buying them, but the emotion had you buy them.
I'll tell you what, my awesome bride, we occasionally we shop at Aldi.
Yeah.
She had the audacity to bring an off-brand Pringle home to my house.
Yeah.
The gall.
The gall.
My kids were having none of it.
Yeah, so
they're like, that is not a Pringle. That's a dingle or whatever it is.
Whatever they sell it as.
Yeah, right. So
that's a Burmer, whatever they call the brand.
But if you really think about it, that brand is ingrained in their head. They expect a Pringle to be a Pringle, not a dingle.
Well, and like, I'm an Aldi fan, and they'll put the brand version beside some of these products, because they realize that people still buy those.
Yeah.
Oreo is probably the number one, my opinion.
The first Oreo cookie was called Hydrox.
No,
it wasn't Oreo. Like the one that invented the chocolate cookie sandwich was a company called Hydrox. You can still find them. What a terrible name. That sounds like laundry detergent. Let's keep going.
Sounds like chemicals.
Right. So here's the urgent care brand opportunity.
Yeah.
So healthcare category, in my opinion, it's wide open for somebody to step in and be the dominant brand. Right. And we're going to talk about a little bit about some of these, but the urgent care is positioned to win. You have hospitals that do not do what you do, and you are doing what they don't do.
Yep.
There is a separation, but there is nobody that has stepped up and become the Kleenex.
Right.
Or the Uber or the Stanley Cup or Yeti or whatever. Right. So you would put Stanley equals hydration and Uber equals mobility, vehicle mobility. And it's funny that you see it as mobility. I see it as gig economy.
Gig economy.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different approach to a similar brand.
Yep.
Or to the same brand. And of course, Google is completely synonymous with search. You don't search something, you Google it.
And now you chat, whatever you call it. I don't. Is there a name for it?
For Chat GPT?
Yeah. Do we chat things now? Is that
not yet? But Chat GPT is the definitive search.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Yep. All right. So question number, we love putting out questions out here because we want to see what you guys are thinking. So it should be popping up on your screen in just a second. But what word or feeling would you say your clinic currently owns in the minds of patients? Are you fast? Are you affordable? Are you convenient or not sure? And we'll let that run for just a second.
So I got news. I don't know if it's going to be good news or bad news. We got somebody that said affordable.
Inconvenient.
Yep. So thank you for the answers, by the way, as they're coming in. Here's the problem. And it's a serious issue. Everybody says the same thing.
Yes.
Everybody says the same thing. Like every urgent care is fast, convenient, affordable, all the different things. Here's the challenge with that is if everybody's saying the same thing, then everybody's saying nothing, right?
Yeah, and we joke about who knows a realtor because they all kind of everybody knows a realtor.
There are 4,500 realtors, no exaggeration,
right.
4,500 in the Birmingham, Alabama market.
Yeah, it's insane.
And if you ask them what makes them different than any other realtor, they're going to say the same thing.
I answer my phone.
That's it. That's what they say. That's what they say.
I answer my
phone.
So
if every urgent care is saying we're fast, affordable, and convenient,
or I'll sell your house fast, or
I'll money than you were.
I'll get your best dollar.
That's right.
And then all of it's not real.
Yep. So we have to spend some time on your brand shifting this around a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because the expectation is that you're fast, affordable, and convenient. Mm-hmm. That's the product, not the brand.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So a couple of things. Let's start talking about your patient. What do they start to look like? So a patient, at the end of the day, this is sad but real. People check their phone 144 times a day, which honestly sounds a little low.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I do that.
And so at the end of the day, if it's not a quick, easy access from your phone, then you're missing out, right? So how easily accessible are you from somebody's phone? Also, as a side note, like I had this experience just the other day. I was trying to get something printed and it just wasn't working. Like I was trying to go to like a CVS Walgreens thing, wasn't working, wouldn't send me whatever. I got so frustrated, and then I went to their competitor, tried to print it, and then they went to go pick it up, and they said, "Oh, sorry, our photo machine's down."
No.
I was like, I give up. So anyway, but it's the reality of it is like, if I can't get to you on my phone, if I can't do what I need to do on the phone, then I'm not going to go to a laptop and try to figure things out because I think I've seen like TikToks like, oh, buying a car is a laptop decision. I got to open that thing up and kind of experience what I need to do, right? I need that big screen. But like for an urgent care, I'm sick. I'm sitting on the couch. I don't want to get up. It's like, I want my phone. I'm already on my phone scrolling because I don't feel good. How easy is it to click over and book that appointment, right? So health and wellness, top 3 search categories. So like at the end of the day, people are always concerned about their health, right? And so if it's top 3, I mean, that means you are fighting with a lot of searches at the end of the day. There's a lot of competition out there. How do you stand out? That type of stuff. And then at the end, and then when you boil it down, the experience expectations is what just like when Nick went through with me on naming off of those different brands, there's an experience that goes with it. And you guys are retail healthcare. So because you fall into the retail side of things, there's an experience that people expect. Because like hospitals, you think about a hospital experience is cold, dark,
sterile, just the best word.
Just all hospitals, right? Like cold, dark, sterile. But they'll probably save my life, or they're going to fix hopefully whatever's going on, and it's going to be expensive. Like that's where it goes. Well, urgent care is the separator from that, and so you have to think about from a retail experience, what does it look like? How a patient, because just think of you, what do you hope they're thinking?
That's 2 seconds before you move on to the slide. I know we're time sensitive. Banks are seeing less and less and less and less foot traffic.
Yeah,
because everything's going online. And I was fascinated to see a commercial not too long ago that Citi card, Citibank, had turned. Well, they had closed a ton of retail locations, but the ones that they did, they turned them into almost like cafes.
Yeah.
So when you go in, it looks like areas for you to sit there, charge your phone, have a conversation. The teller comes up to you. Like there's not the traditional teller thing. they come up and they talk to you as if you were like in an Apple store.
Yeah.
Like, here, let me show you
Yep.
this or whatever. And they have their iPad. It's just they changed their approach. They knew things were changing, so they changed their approach. And I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reality of things. Like that's the experience the consumer wants now.
Right.
So frustratingly, the phone has changed so much experience when it comes to how you interact with customers, but it's just the reality that we're in at this moment. It may change again. We may have a generation come up so I don't want phones anymore, but that's not in the foreseeable future.
Right.
All right. So from consumer mindset to clinic experience. So patients shop healthcare like consumers. That first impression does count. So think about that first impression, right? Where what is that first impression? Is it from your website? Is it from a Google search? Is it from they drove by and just, oh, I need to stop in? Is the opening that door? Like, what is the experience of opening that door? The sounds, the smells, the environment around them. It all matters because, like, we're here in Birmingham and we have a bunch of Walmarts, right? Like, there's an expectation of Walmarts, but there's one Walmart that, like,
very low expectation.
Did that right. But there's, when it comes to safety,
yeah,
there's a Walmart I don't want to go to because and they know it because they have a police thing that just sits there in the middle of the parking lot.
Yep.
So, and that's an experience, right? So that's just part of it. So thinking through even your location, if you're choosing your next location, how good of an experience will that physical location be beyond like doesn't matter what goes into that spot, but like that location, how much is it going to affect their overall experience? Because like parking could be a huge experience problem.
That's right.
Yeah, moving on to that. So signage, interior, what they see is what they buy type of thing. Absolutely. So if it is a premium experience, they don't mind having a slightly more expensive experience, right?
Right.
Or does it exceed their experience? Because urgent cares are at that point, like they want quick in and quick out. We all say that, right? But
again, that's the product.
Yeah.
Not the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so but is that experience as a whole do you want it to be premium? Do you want it to be economical? Like what is it exactly? And then are you consistent? Like is that if I go today and then I go 2 months from now, am I getting this same experience? I think one of the challenges that urgent cares do face is that your providers swap out. Like a provider today may not be there in 2 weeks or a month or a year. And so that experience kind of can be different, right?
That's right.
And that's from the front desk side, that's from everybody. So like there's that piece of the puzzle where the consistency is so important. Because like if I roll up to a Chick-fil-A, and we'll talk about it in a second, there's an expectation of a consistency. Like whatever goes in that bag and I open that bag, I'm like, yep, that's what I was hoping to get. A slightly soggy breaded sandwich. That's amazing.
That's funny.
But anyway, so brand at the end of the day is a promise plus actually delivering on that promise at the end of the day. So like if you're pushing out, this is what I think our brand is it actually delivering that to every patient that comes through your door? Just remember that. And then the best brands tell a clear story. The patient's the hero at the end of the day. Like you got to make them the hero, make them feel really good about what their decision was. And then the clinic is just passing through that experience real easy for them. So just remember that. Like I said, we keep saying experience because I think branding and experience are so tied together. It's so much more than just a logo on a wall.
That's right.
All right. So because of that, let's ask this question here. Where do you feel your clinic is the weakest today? Where are your problems? Is it visibility, experience, consistency, online presence? Which one do you think it is? We'll give it just a second.
All right. Let's keep going.
Yep. Online presence, got one of those. Good.
Right.
So online presence is standing out right now, but I'm curious. No one said experience. I guess nobody feels weak about that. Nobody feels weak about any of this.
Hey,
right?
well, a quick story. One of our clients is 3 Peaks Urgent Care out of Colorado, and I had to use them when I was on vacation in Colorado. This was last year, right?
Yeah.
But they had their experience down. And I walk through the door. They're like, Nick, right? I'm like, yep. They're like, great. We're gonna have you right back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that. That was a great experience for me.
Yep.
So some people do have their experience down. Some people have their visibility down. So it doesn't shock me that online presence is a real concern.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to go through. We're going to help you here. We're going to help you identify some things. So Story Brand by Donald Miller. You can go get that book and you can go through the framework on your own. But we've pulled the 7 questions that he asked in his book to help you pull your brand out. And we wanted to spend some time doing that. All All right, this slide, I am out of order in my slide. Yeah. This is on me. But so creating differentiation in a sea of sameness. Let's do this first, and then we'll go into the story.
Sure.
So go ahead.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So differentiate. So, and this is what we talked on a little bit. So most clinics look identical to a certain degree. We were actually, Hannah and I were joking the other day of like, will this urgent care? And the mindset of like, can a building become an urgent care and vice versa? And so so when you see, and we use Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, everybody knows about Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. And I think if I said Chick-fil-A, there's a mindset that goes there. If I say McDonald's, there's a mindset that goes there, just like we did earlier.
Correct.
Anyway, so when you see think about experience, how a consumer feels when they leave a Chick-fil-A or leave a McDonald's, chances are Chick-fil-A is going to leave a better taste in their mouth.
Well, and they have completely different focuses, right? Chick-fil-A is they, in all fairness, y'all been around a minute. Mm-hmm. Chick-fil-A back in the 80s and 90s was the best thing you've ever put in your mouth. Mm-hmm. They're not focused on that anymore. It's still good. It's fine. Popeyes has a better chicken sandwich. Yeah,
right. Controversy. But I agree, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like but you don't go to Popeyes for service. They will yell at you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Chick-fil-A is my pleasure. Have a great day. How can I serve you? Let me take care of you. You go to Chick-fil-A because it's consistent, predictable, stable, profitable,
freaking fast,
yeah. Friendly. Yeah. Like you know exactly what you're going to get. Same thing for McDonald's, by the way, mm-hmm. right? When I say that, it's not the same chicken sandwich war, Hannah says. That's funny. Who's bringing up Zaxby's? Anyway, so the thing about McDonald's, though, is I know that no matter where I go, a number one's going to be a number one. I'm getting a Big Mac, and the Big Mac's going to be good, mm-hmm. right? They don't have food quality issues. Their service sucks most of the time, or it's just not there at all. Because they've gone to they've removed it. Yeah, they've removed it. They knew their service was so bad they had to get rid of people.
Yep, and which goes back to like the focus on people and services isn't there because they could look if Chick-fil-A and McDonald's can exist beside each other, it's not a pool of employee problem. It's a management training problem, right? That the focus isn't for the service. So you have to think to yourself, where do you want to be? Like, do you want because yes, you can
both work. We need to say that.
Obviously both work. Both are very successful companies with different types of customers that come through the door. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, so your urgent care A and urgent care B, they can have the same level of care being provided, the product, right? Like I took care of you, but what about everything else, right?
I kind of wish I had asked Hannah, that's the Amazon logo. I wish I had asked Hannah, this isn't her fault, this is mine, to add the Walmart.
Yeah.
All right. Because they're the top competing online brands. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, Amazon is dog focused on the customer first. Mm-hmm. Walmart is dog focused on the lowest price.
Yeah.
Two completely different approaches, mm-hmm. right? Which one's winning, I wonder. Don't really know, by the way. I don't have an answer to that.
And they're direct competitors. So even though one has no physical locations and the other one lives off physical locations.
Right.
Plus Walmart.com.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, there we go.
All right. So talking about the most powerful person in the audience in terms of like who your customer is the mom. At the end of the day, your mom is actually, they've been coined as the chief medical officer of the house.
I'm 46. My mom's still, I'll call her up. Hey, where did I go to do this thing?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's real. But no, so it still holds true today. Like the mom is making 80% of the healthcare decisions, which you can't shy away from that. So how much of your experience is geared toward that mom who's probably bringing the child in or forcing the husband to go get something done?
Yeah, because they're not going willingly.
No, they are. Yeah, so they are the superheroes for sure. And when it comes to how we function in terms of healthcare, because if you're not making the mom happy or they had a bad experience, you're not going to get them to come back. Like
That's right.
And that affects not that individual, it affects the whole family half the time because they're going to say, well, I don't know why you're going back there. That was not good. They didn't do X, Y, Z. Or they'll say, you need to start going here instead. I think it's a better place. So think about it, though. Think about that mom. Think about that mom in terms of what's going on in their lives. You know, working full time, having kids at home or kids in school. Time is very sensitive to them, and they want, but they're also like, I want to protect my children, protect my family. Please don't make me think twice about doing this, right? And so you got to make sure all that makes total sense. So just I don't know if you guys have ever considered thinking about the mom in terms of like they ultimately make that, even though you'll have a male calling you, but let's say probably the wife, mom said you probably should call them first,
Right.
or told them you need to go get that checked out. Why are you keep wasting time on that? So 'cause that's real.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It is. And so that's that hard reminder of are you serving the mom well? And if you're not, or you haven't thought about it, this is your trigger to say, I probably should go take a look at that and see how it's going.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're targeting their kid. It's just that typically your avatar is going to be a middle-aged mom with children and married.
That's and very busy life.
Typical. May not for you. It's not for everybody, but it is mostly for urgent care. Let's keep going.
Yep.
All right. Do we get to talk about the 7 questions yet? All right. Good. Yay.
Hannah says yes.
All right. I'm glad. Y'all have been ready for this. This is what I was here for. I wanted to give you the meat and potatoes.
You were jumping ahead, ready to go.
I didn't mean to. All right. So the story brand, I've already talked about Donald Miller. This is customer-centric messaging, okay? It's going to put the customer as the hero. If you ever watch Star Wars, which I may have lost everybody on the call at this point, the hero of the story is Luke. You're supposed to be Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like you need to be the teacher to the hero, you're not the hero. Okay. And that's what Donald Miller teaches about. How is your framing of all of the content on your website? I know I'm a nerd. It is what it is.
And it's just lighting us up today.
So that's okay. We'll take it. I like the interaction. But if you are creating your brand where you're the hero, you've lost because you're not. Right. You're not the hero. Patient Care Marketing Pros isn't the hero of the urgent care story. The urgent care is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like you're not the hero of your patient story, the patient is. Let's make them the hero of the story. Everything is going to revolve around the patient or the customer, okay? And it makes it super easy to clarify your message and drive the growth. This was funny. Go ahead and talk about this.
Yeah, so we're going to use some branding here for fun. Like this is what I mentioned earlier.
This was on brand yesterday.
This was on brand a day ago, but now it's lost some of its brand.
Yeah,
thanks. Anyway,
we're back to Cracker Barrel.
So this past week, Cracker Barrel had released a very big logo change, which then created an amazing controversy across this country over a Southern food restaurant, which is just funny to me. And so, and one of the things
why did that fail so miserably?
What's that?
I don't care about forget politics, all of that. It's because they put their brand over the people.
Yeah. So the people didn't want it.
they put themselves over the people.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but anyway, but the funny part was that lots and lots and lots of companies started creating their own versions of the old logo or the new one. But we did. And so we're like, well, let's do Ray's Urgent Care, and the best, which is cut off at the bottom. There was a little phrase that says, "You'll get better eventually."
Yeah, you'll get better.
You'll get better eventually. Eventually,
that's it.
But it's just funny. It's funny because this is just the logo, right? Like this is not the whole brand of Ray's Urgent Care, but there's a flavor that goes with it. But anyway, we just thought to kind of catch your attention for just a second.
It is fascinating though to me because the logo for Cracker Barrel evoked so many emotions that people didn't know they felt until it changed.
It's almost like they were losing like one of the last Southern old things out there because, like, you know, with the exception of Waffle House, I think they're about it.
Don't mess with Waffle
Don't mess with the Waffle House.
It is perfect.
It is.
There's nothing to their coffee is perfect. It's so mediocre, it's good. You know,
all-star every day.
Everything about their food is good.
All right, so enough of the reminiscing. Let's move right into it.
Do the blueberries in the waffle. You're welcome.
Yeah. They are good.
We're done.
All right, so the way we're going to set this up, so we're going to go through this is the 7-step process of a story brand piece. Now, we are not story brand certified, so we'll just put that out front, but we can ask questions and have answers and let you guys think on these things a little bit. So
we're going to ask the question. We put prompts in there for you.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we'll have these questions here, and then Nick's going to talk about what kind of answer would this look like type of thing.
For Ray's Urgent Care.
Yeah, for Ray's Urgent Care.
There you go. First question, go.
Yeah, so first question. So we're talking about the character piece of it. Who is your ideal patient? What are they looking for when they come to an urgent care clinic? And what do they value most? Speed, affordability, compassion, trust, convenience? Think about it before we give you a sample. I'll give you just a second to think about it because who is your ideal patient? It's not just the mom that's 35 years old.
That's right.
It's not just that. So it's much more than that. All right.
You want to get crystal clear as much as possible on who you are talking to. Who is your hero? Go.
All right. So here's the sample.
All right. You are a busy family. I'm talking to busy families and working professionals who need fast, reliable medical care without the hassle of long waits or expensive ER visits. So we framed it in such a way that you're looking for a family who works, who don't have time to go to the urgent care. But we framed it in a very quick,
Mm-hmm.
kind of buttoned up way of saying it. I would have rather written this as busy moms. That's how I would have now that I've read it and had time to think about it, I would have said busy moms and working moms.
Yep.
Working professionals who need fast, reliable medical care without the hassle of long waits at the expensive ER visits. So that's how I would have framed it differently now, having gone back and thought about it some more.
So it's not just like I'm the alternative to an ER. It's the I don't want to go to an ER mindset. Like I already have a perception, like if I go to the ER, I'm going to be wasting half my day and I don't have any PTO time left.
So I want to do this, and I don't want it to come across as controversial, but I want you to really think about the market that you're serving. Okay.
Yep.
I live in Pelham. Pelham has a very heavy Hispanic population.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so it might be, I am looking at the Hispanic individual who can only do things after 4 p.m. and they need a cash pay option. That could be my hero. It could be a very affluent neighborhood that's a completely different, like in Homewood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking to the stay-at-home mom who, while her family is at school, she's finally getting time to take care of herself, however you want to look at that.
Yep.
So it doesn't have to be a single or a married mother of two. Like, think about where you live before you frame that question. Let's keep going for time's sake.
Because for like the urgent care side, communities, you're such an important part of the community, and you have to think about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So now we're moving on to the problem. What are they struggling with? What external problems do your patients face? We talked about the long ER wait time as an example. What internal problems do they feel? Are they just worn out on the inside? Are they frustrated? Is there a villain in their story? Like, is it a cost thing? Is it something like they want to be better taken care of?
What's that insurance company?
Is there an insurance company that we just don't like that people talk about here?
Villain?
So we'll give you just a second to think about it before we give you a sample. But the like thing now we're going to that person, right? So you've identified the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're identifying what are they facing as the hero, and it's internally, not so much externally.
That's right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right, they're frustrated. ER times are long and they have limited options and they can't get timely appointments with their primary care doctor. I'm telling you, primary care doctors are booking out months in advance now. And they feel anxious when unexpected illness or injury strikes. So another way to think about is I'm serving up empathy quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Especially with that anxiety. And I'm telling you, just as somebody who isn't a very anxious person, I'm not. The minute I get into a medical facility, I'm a little like I can feel the tension in my shoulders, things like that. And I don't really know how to explain it, but I know it's there. So I don't want to go to an ER. I'm frustrated by those wait times. I can't get timely appointments. I don't have time to wait for a primary doctor, and I have anxiety.
And anxiety, and how do you cure some anxiety, empathy? Like you mentioned, like having that experience. Like we know that you're here because you don't feel well, and we want to make you feel better.
That's right.
And we're going to make you feel better the whole time, not just when you see the doctor.
That's right.
All right. Number 3, the guide. This is you.
When we say the guide, it's not a booklet. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda.
This is you, the clinic, right? This is
right.
you, the brand. Why should your clinic be trusted as the solution? Because you got competitors. Why are they being trusted more often than you are being trusted? Ask yourself, what credentials, experience, patient stories can demonstrate you have authority in this? Like, let me just show you why you should trust us because you've never talked to us before. Let me kind of show this off a little bit, right? And then how do you show empathy for what patients are going through? Like we talked about, empathy is really key. Because at the end of the day, they're anxious and they're hurting. And empathy is the quickest way to relieve some of that. But I'll give you guys just a second to think about it. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Our experienced, compassionate medical team understands the stress of being sick or hurt, and we're committed to delivering quick, affordable, quality care when patients need it most. Again, the only thing I would probably change about this a little bit now that I've had time to think about it is I would remove anything that talks about us.
Yeah.
I would only talk about in this sample section is I would talk about you need an experienced, compassionate medical team that understands the stress of being sick because we've been there before and we know what it feels like.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
All right. Number 4, the plan. Clarity over complexity. What's your simple step-by-step process for patients? Now, this is interesting because there's this thing that how do you make toast?
Yeah, the sticky notes.
Yeah, so there's there's a thing called sticky notes we've done, but if you're curious, what does it even mean? Ask yourself, how do you make toast? Then ask the person next to you or whoever next you could talk to, hey, how do you make toast? And you'll be dumbfounded by the differences.
Let's do it real quick.
Yeah. So
how do you make toast?
How do I make toast? I go to the cabinet, open the door, grab the bread, take it out, put it in the toaster, push the toaster button down, wait a few minutes, pop it out, put it on a plate.
So we're pretty similar in that.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know that there was much that I would change. So you kind of nailed.
Oh no.
The first time I did this, though, there was somebody that said they would start by planting wheat crops.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They go deep
from wheat crops. They would get a tractor, and then they would have to bush hog it down, and then they would take it and they would husk it, or whatever it's called. You break the seeds open for the kernels and all that. I mean, they went deep, and they talked about how they would talk to the electric company. So anyway, I know that sounds crazy.
And then I've heard somebody say, well, I just take a piece of bread and put it in the toaster.
That's it. So it could be like, there's a whole facet of this. But clarity over complexity is the biggest key. What is the clearly, what is the clear way? Like, for example, when we talk about how we build websites, we build mobile first, high converting websites.
Yep.
They don't need to know that it's on WordPress and hosted on Bionic.
Yeah, they don't need to know that. They know it works.
Yeah, they just need to know that when their website is there on a search, that it's going to be found.
Yep.
They need to know that when somebody schedules on your online scheduler or calls your office, they're going to talk to a human, or they're going to, or at least the AI that's answering the phone is going to flip it over to them very, very quickly. Flip.
Yep.
Right?
So then the other side of this question is how do you make it easy and stress-free for someone to choose you instead of another option? This is that separator, right? Like that. Here's where the actual experience starts to happen. And so think through that. I'll give you a couple of seconds to kind of think through that and think about all the steps involved, because at the end of the day, becoming a patient is a lot of steps. So just think about that. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Excellent. So you're going to walk in without an appointment. You're going to be seen by a provider within minutes, and you're going to leave with a clear treatment plan and peace of mind with your prescriptions already ordered.
Simple enough, right?
Let's say it a different way. You're going to be able to save your spot online with our mobile app. And by the time you walk through the door, we're already going to have the information that you put on there that's going to limit the wait time, get you treated, and get you out.
Yeah. And so this is something to add to this would be, do your employees know this? Do they know when they pick up that phone, this is the experience you want that patient to have? Because like you said, like the other experience could be they're going to make an appointment and then come in. And so is your front desk encouraging that appointment or just telling them to walk in every single time? I say that because we've seen it and it's real. So like, think about that. You're the urgent care owner, you're in top management, you know what that brand is about. Does everybody else know what that brand is about? And if it's just not obvious, or you ask, just quiz them, right? Like, which I know is scary. They're like, I don't know. And don't be upset with them when they give you the wrong answer, because that just means you have an opportunity to make an improvement.
That's right.
Be a concern if you had issues and everyone had the right answer. Because I don't know what to tell you then. All right, step 5. Here's the call to action, the clear next step. What do you want patients to do right this second? Call, walk in, book online, like we talked about. Do you have both a direct call to action, like you book now, or a transitional one? Download a guide, like for us, download a guide on when to go to an urgent care versus ER. Like, download a guide thing is something that we always push a little bit because we're trying to educate first, right?
Right.
So thinking about your urgent care, are you pushing, like, I want to educate everybody that interacts with the urgent care is different from ER and XYZ type thing. So think about it.
So we have a problem here while you're thinking about it. One of the things that Michael and I and my team see more often than not, and it's frustrating to me because I don't think it's really what you want, is your number one call to action is pay bill online.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Like, do you just not want me to go to your urgent care? Is that what it is?
And that's actually when the clinic becomes the hero and not the patient.
That's
because
right.
You're trying to make your life easier as a clinic.
That's right.
Because you probably heard lots of complaints of patients don't know where to go pay their bill. We'll put a big red button on the homepage of the site and they'll see it next time. That's not the point, because they're already a patient and now you're exposing new potential patients that you care more about the payment coming in than the patient coming in.
That's right.
I'm not trying to hurt you guys on that. It's just simple.
I am. Stop it. Please quit.
Oh yeah, please stop adding pay bill as a big red scary button.
You can have it on there. Not mad at you for having it on there.
Hide under a drop down. Put it in the footer.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere where it's not obvious. But when the first call to action of your website is pay bill, and then your second call to action is the book online, the patient's no longer.
That is an exercise when we have prospects that come to us and say, analyze my website. My first question to them is, what do you want me to do on your website? Can you answer that question? Because we're talking about a call to action, right? And we're talking about clear next steps. So ask yourself this question before you answer, and then we'll go to the next slide is, what do you want them to do when they get there?
Yep, exactly.
Right? So let's give you an example. Walk in today or book online now. I would rather that be one, but both of them work. And then download our free guide, Urgent Care versus ER, Know Where to Go. This is what's going to help you build your own list of prospects. And I absolutely think you should have one.
Yeah, 100%. But no, so at the end of the day, like, it's clear and it's obvious, and it's not about you. Like, that's just that hard reminder. It's just not about you.
That's right.
Quit paying my bill.
Yep.
All right. So this is the happy ending success side of it. So think about this. What does life look like for your patient after they've chosen your clinic? It's a pretty big question, because my gut feeling is saying they feel better or they have a path to recovery. But what does that fully look like? Did they have, like, because the aftercare experience honestly has more impacted them coming back to you, probably more than them when they went in there, right? Where like, I'm like, man, they really took care of me beyond my visit, right? So think about that. Next is, how do you want them to feel leaving your doors? Same concept, right? When are they happy they left your doors? Are they mad? Are they like confused? Are they waiting for that pay bill link to pop up?
That's right.
Are they waiting for them to say, well, I got to go back to their website, hit the pay bill button? Like, where does that live? Because were they the hero the whole time? So they're the hero reflecting back on that. So I'll give you guys just a second to think about what you think it should be for your clinic. 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Patients leave feeling cared for, confident in their treatment, and relieved that they got the right care quickly without breaking the bank. That is just about as clean as you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So nothing I would change in this one.
Yeah, this is very straightforward, but you may have an extra layer to this, right? Where, well, maybe they felt like they had a premium experience, because we have a couple of urgent cares, like their location is super premium. I thought when they sent us photos, like, is this a hotel lobby?
Stunning.
Yeah, like this is incredible. But does the experience reflect that, you know?
Yep.
Are they feeling luxury and premium as they leave? All right. Failure. The success part was not what you were hoping, right? Like, now you've reached that failure point. What risks do patients face if they don't get the right care quickly?
Okay, I want to change this. Again, what happens if you choose the wrong clinic?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's change it to that instead of the right care.
Yeah. And it goes around the negative outcomes. Like you could have helped them avoid a poor choice, and they would have had negative, like that. Because we've seen it. We've seen it from the standpoint of, hey, I caught you. You guys told me my lab results will be in a day. It's 2 days now. I'm calling you back. Where are they? We don't know. Or we're still waiting, which means, oh, we forgot to process them, or whatever, or they got lost. That happens. So thinking about that, like, why? Because at the end of the day, urgent cares live off Google reviews, and we see who people love to give out those negatives. Like, you don't want to be that negative urgent care.
No.
You want to make sure because at the end of the day, it hurts your industry. Like, we face this in the digital marketing industry. Like, when somebody chooses the wrong digital marketing agency, they get a bad taste in their mouth, and it becomes a bigger uphill battle for us to convince, like, no, that's not how we function.
I saw an ad for a competing agency. It was a great ad, by the way. But the lady was talking about they were on their 7th agency.
Yeah,
and
terrifying.
I mean, imagine, like, I've been to 20 different urgent cares. That's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be at like max 2 or 3, and you finally found one that you could stick with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Without urgent care, patients risk higher costs, delayed treatment, worsening conditions, and unnecessary stress at overcrowded ERs. I love that we were able to add in overcrowded ERs. Because sometimes it's not always just like you're delaying your health. Sometimes you're putting yourself in another unhealthy environment, and you don't want to do that either.
And we know at the end of the day, urgent care is not ER. And when they feel like they have to go to an ER to get something done because their urgent care experience was not good,
yeah, they'll never come back.
It makes them hard.
Or at least yours.
The hero gets attacked.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
All right. So there you go. So we went through the 7 pieces. Now we're going to talk about some core things here. This is a little bit marketing 101. But now that you have a mindset of who your hero is, what your story brand is all about, and obviously you may have to go back and kind of pencil this stuff out and kind of figure out where do you want it to go. But there's some key things at the end of the day, like now, because typically when you've identified this patient hero, you now know how to kind of direct some of your marketing. We even had a conversation just the other day with one of our clients that they're working on building that patient persona. So our marketing can be more direct toward who they would prefer to come in at the end of the day. All right. So basic stuff here. This is like 101, but these things you should be doing, right? So traditional marketing. Hey, we're digital, but we love traditional too. Billboards, radio, direct mail. That's the awareness and credibility side. Generally speaking, billboard, radio, and direct mail is not going to get an instant response. It's more of a like, oh, I think I've seen them before.
Right.
Or it's a straight up trust factor where, man, if they're a billboard, they've obviously got something going good for them. Like there's a higher quality view when the company's on a billboard.
I'd also make a note that outside of direct mail, billboard and radio and even television at this point can all be done digitally.
Yeah. Like there's a digital side to it. But at the end of the day, like there's a layer of like, okay, they feel more legitimate. Like if I saw a billboard, I really can't tell you why, but I think it's just the idea of if they made it to a billboard, I feel like they're a higher value versus if I saw them just on a random Facebook ad that I've never heard of before, right? Like because I think it's because the barrier of entry, because a billboard's much more expensive out the gate.
That's right.
Anyway. It's interesting, but it works. And so next is, are you sponsoring school events? Because at the end of that, school events tied to that hero, the mom, right? So are you taking care of that mom on a different layer? Are you exposing yourself properly to that where you're saying, hey, I'm here to take care of your children. I'm going to make you feel really good that if you need to take your child somewhere, we can actually take care of you. And getting right into that school system can make a big difference. And that's actually something that digital has struggled to touch because there are parameters around marketing directly to kids, right? So
you can't geofence them.
Yeah, you cannot geofence them. It is a big no-no. Of course, we can talk digital all day, but are you being found easily online? Is your website nice and smooth? Is it easy booking online? If I do a quick search, I can find you again without trying to think about it. If I saw the billboard of the name of Ray's Urgent Care and I went to my phone, I was like, well, Ray's Urgent, and you pop up accordingly, not your competitor. It's all about experience side of things, but it makes a big difference to the digital side. Obviously it's what we do, so we're going to encourage it. Social media side, this is where you're kind of compounding the trust side of things. Are you using real photos, not fake stock photos? Nothing against that if you can only use what you can use. But at the end of the day, real faces matter. And we've even seen it where the more you can get your staff involved can matter too. But having testimonials like I had a great experience, here's why. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have a community and influencer, right, where somebody in your community is very well known and you went the extra mile for them and didn't even know who they were, but they had a wonderful experience, that video testimonial can be reused over and over and over and over again. Right. It really does work. All right. Content strategy side, things like, are you just throwing content to the wind and hope it sticks? That's not the goal here, but it's real. People try. Are you educating them? Is there an emotional side to it as well? Because at the end of the day, people are searching from I need an answer. And we don't want, and we've reached this part with AI SEO. AEO is how it's being coined now.
We'll see if it sticks.
We'll see what happens. But now Google's trying to answer your question before the search can answer the question, which is pulling away from you. But if you become the authority in that question with the right answer, you're going to win more often than not.
I would even say your brand is greater than AI.
Yeah, it is. It is at the end of the day.
AI will answer their question. Brand will bring them to you.
Yeah. Next on here is the staff side. Like they are your brand amplifiers. What does that mean? Is that they can expand on your brand for you. They can grow it for you. And if they believe in what you're doing, if they believe in what they're doing, it makes it a whole lot better from a patient experience standpoint. Like at the end of the day, your staff is going to create that experience, and are they doing it in the right way? And then are they involved? Like, are you getting them excited about things? So it's really just one of those, like, I think people forget that they have a staff of people that can be a little bit more than just doing what their standard responsibilities are. So
I mean, our team can spit out our mission, vision, and values, which I was pleasantly surprised the one time that I asked about the mission side of things, because we talk about it all the time, but I don't really ever. Yeah, can your staff put your story out there?
Yeah, the story brand that you've just put together, can they tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Here we go. Which area do you think your clinic needs the most improvement in? We went through all of them, but traditional marketing, online, social media, staff training, and overall patient experience.
Traditional is going to be your television, billboard, print, Google and digital, obviously the art of getting found online. Social media, how are you communicating effectively and building community around your brand? Staff training and patient experiences, that is putting your brand to work.
Yeah. So we got a couple answers on the staff and training side of things. Absolutely. It's something that you can quickly forget about because you're just in the motions of doing the work to getting the work done about the product and not about the overall experience of which it connects to your brand. And then some touched on the online side as well, which we totally get that for sure.
Yep. I honestly think both of those things play. I think all four of these are important. I think for patient acquisition, Google and digital infrastructure, spot on. I'm glad somebody voted for that. But if you want them coming back for those repeat visits, training your staff and patient experience is going to be huge. 90-day brand growth plan. Do you want to do this or you want me to? All right. So we want to make sure that you have a plan, not only to answer those 7 questions, but let's put it into action. excuse me. So weeks 1 through 4, let's build a foundation. Do an audit of your Google reviews and your signage. Fix your website and info. Sorry about that. If you're saying pay your bill online, like we need to fix that website call to action, right? And make sure that you're aligning your staff on the patient promise. And the promise is whatever you decide that is, which is typically going to be you're going to feel better and have a plan for your healthcare, right?
Yep.
Weeks 5 through 8, build that visibility and trust. Now that you've established and fixed the broken things and told your or developed your story, let's share that story with your patients. That can be in the form of putting posters up around your office of your core values or what your goal is to make sure that they feel cared for. Join the community events so that you can have a conversation. When somebody walks up to your tent or your booth or whatever you have, you can clearly communicate with them what your story is. Train your staff. This isn't a one and done thing. We talk every single week in our Monday meetings about our mission, vision, and values, along with the other things that we want to talk about. But you have to train them for consistency. Consistency is right actions over time. And then the story, show the plan and give clear calls to action. Weeks 9 through 12. Now we're putting this at scale. Run local Google ads. Make sure that you're running in that 3 to 5 mile radius, right? And the content on your website and your landing pages reflect your story. And that your patient is the hero in that story. Grow your reviews and respond to your reviews. We have great reviews. We were reviewing an account today with one of our client success managers. They had thousands of amazing reviews, but they were not responding to those reviews.
Yeah, we have, that's real.
Yeah, but part of that response should be your brand story. Hey, we love it. We love that you had this, and this is part of our core values, right? Track visits and your repeat patients. Those are important metrics for you to know. You need to know what your patients per day volume is. You need to know how many of those patients per day have come and seen you before.
And I think it should be noted.
That's your brand at work.
I think it should be noted here that we're not saying run ads day one. We're saying run ads after you've kind of cleaned up some stuff.
Correct.
Because if you have a really bad experience, brand, whatever, and ads are just going to amplify it.
Yep.
And then you're going to be wasting some dollars because they're not going to be converting because you're just making people mad. And it's just real.
Yeah. I was talking to one of our client success managers earlier today where we were sending great traffic and patient volume and it was falling apart at the clinic.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, look, a great marketing campaign is going to make a bad business model fail faster.
Absolutely.
Which is totally stolen from Dave Ramsey. So
yeah.
Takeaways, Michael.
So key take, you guys made it. You made it through the story brand side of things. I hope there was some good information you grabbed out of it. And then, like I said, we'll be sending replays later. So if you like, I don't remember what they said about this, you can go back to it very easily. But at the end of the day, patients are the consumer. You got to treat them as the hero of your story. You are not the hero of your story. Sorry. Your clinic is not the hero. Branding is the promise, not the logo. It sounds like everybody associates brand and logo. It's about that promise and delivering on that promise. So then you have, we gave you some clear, plain, and simple action items there, and then just reminder of it takes consistency over time, and you build up that loyalty, and then you'll have those repeat visitors, which will help carry your business to the next level.
Love it, man. That's good stuff.
So here we go. Like we promised,
stuff.
We always have resources for you guys. So scan right now. I believe Hannah in there as well, so you guys can go there and download what you want. Reach out to us too. Like if you have a question about any of this, we're happy to chat with you. And we can, if you're like, hey, can you audit some stuff for me? Can figure out what's working and what's not? Yeah, that's what we do.
Let me do a totally random but a free kind of offer for you now, just because I want to do it because it's fun for me. I love this kind of stuff. If you go in and you answer those 7 questions, email some information to you. Here's what I want: your clinic name and the answers to your questions and the website, your website URL. And what I'll do is I'll take those 7 questions that you answered, I'll throw them into our chat GPT, and then I'll copy the content of your homepage. I'll throw it into the chat GPT, and I'll just say, take the existing content and word it in StoryBrand format. And I'll deliver that back to you in a Word document, absolutely for free. It would just be fun for me and a gift to you. And I can do it pretty well. So
awesome.
Be happy to do that. Just email hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com. We will get that information.
Absolutely. All right. So we were, as promised, right at an hour. So you guys got to hop, you hop. If you got any questions, we're here for just a minute to answer any questions you might have. But thank you guys again for taking time to check us out here. And then if you missed anything, you'll get that email from Hannah next day or so. And also Labor Day is coming up. So I hope you guys have a wonderful long weekend.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's the last good holiday of the year, I think. Well, besides Christmas, you know,
last
3 day.
I thought you love Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
Okay, there you go.
So, I'm gonna count to 3 or count down from 3. And if you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and let everybody go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your time. We don't take it lightly. I hope you get, if you're watching this on the replay, the offer stands, and we will see you.